Today, I want to discuss the latest free agency moves for the Cardinals, a luxury upgrade to the stadium, and a rumor. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh.
Murray heaves it downfield. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic.
The sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome to the sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Singh. You can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. You can find the podcast at SickPodKelly. We are trying to grow that account. Also, if you happen to be here on YouTube, I would love it if you would subscribe, like, share. Same with any of our podcast platforms. If you're able to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the things, leave a review, leave a note, get us some extra attention, I'd really appreciate it. We are on season 3. Can you believe it? I will be bringing on a co-host once a week. And you met her if you watched the most recent episode or listened to the most recent episode, Charlotte Schaff, who is a Cardinal season ticket holder and a PR professional in the Phoenix area. I love her to bits. So I hope that you will love her too. But today, you get me. You'll have me once a week by myself talking headlines. Today, I want to dive into some of the free agency moves. So I'm bringing up my sheet courtesy of overthecap.com/free agency. Thank you, Donnie Druin, friend of the pod, Cardinals beat recorder, for pointing me in this direction because wow, does it get complicated when they're making so many moves. I would love to share with you, we have only lost 3 of our beloved Cardinals to other teams here in the free agency. We lost Lucky Fotu, defensive lineman, to the Jets. We lost Rondale Moore, who holds my little heart. We have lost him to the Falcons, and we've lost Marquise Brown. Definitely made an impact to our wide receiver core, but more importantly, he was really a man of the people and captured a lot of hearts among fans and among the media. We have lost him to the Chiefs. So clearly, those 3 players are going to be deeply missed, and we're looking at ways in filling those spots. When it comes to wide receivers, it's pretty clear that we will be choosing a wide receiver in the fourth pick of the first round, I should say. But we have actually picked up Mac Wilson, wide receiver from the Patriots, Chris Moore, wide receiver from the Titans. I think that's it for wide receivers. But don't forget, we are already blessed with Greg Dortch. Light that torch. He is remaining on the Cardinals. And we have Michael Wilson in his 2nd season with the Cardinals. I truly believe that Michael Wilson is going to be a breakout star this season. Can't wait to see it. Stoked for it. As long as he stays healthy, then it's going to be great. He did have some shoulder issues, I believe, last season, which, played in him not playing as many games as we had liked, but the chemistry was building at the end of the season, and it's clear he's going to be making a really big impact. And don't forget, tight end Trey McBride, he's a receiver. He's out there catching balls, making a huge impact. setting records. So I think we're in a good spot as far as receivers go. And our defensive line is building up as well, adding, we've got Sean Murphy Bunting, we've got Belial Nichols, Justin Jones, uh, Jonah Williams. These are all people that we have added during the free agency period. We've added an additional center. We have added Desmond Ritter. I guess that is something really big to talk about. So here we have Kyler Murray and we have Clayton Tune. I just realized how wrinkly my shirt was. Sorry. Distraction. Um, yeah, we brought on Desmond Ritter despite having Kyler Murray be a starter and Clayton Tune as a backup. And I know many of you have said on Twitter, I've seen it, that you don't see Clayton Tune being the backup this season, but I would like to disagree with you politely. That kid has talent. He's going to be great. He needs an opportunity, and it's unfortunate that his greatest opportunity happened to be against the Cleveland Browns when we had a banged up O-line. Super unfortunate. I would love to see him get more opportunities, but we'll keep our eyes open at camp. However, Desmond Ritter came over from the Falcons. Um, Looks like he would be the default backup. And I think that Clayton and Desmond can bounce a lot of ideas off of each other, work well together, push each other. So I don't see any issues in that. What is interesting, however, as we talk about Desmond Ritter, is the rumor mill. The rumor mill. Have you seen the same rumors that I've seen where there's a world where the people think, trying to figure out how I want to phrase this. There is a world where NFL analysts see the Cardinals trading Kyler Murray to the Vikings in a massive trade back. And there are different views on it. It would be huge. So there are three quarterbacks. I'm reading from an article that Donnie Druin has written. There are three quarterbacks favored to go ahead of Arizona before they're on the clock. The latest rumor is that the Vikings could move up from 11 to take QB from Michigan, JJ McCarthy, because they lost Kirk Cousins in the free agency. So there's that. Moving up so that they can get a new rookie quarterback. The other news that I've heard was they move up and trade in order to give the Cardinals additional first round picks, additional picks throughout the years in exchange for Kyler Murray, which would leave us with Desmond Ritter as the starter. What do you think? What are you hearing? What are your thoughts? Because we've talked about it over and over and over again that the Cardinals, we've already had 6 picks within the first 3 rounds, which is wild. We can see that Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, they're going to be going in the 1, 2, 3 spot. And then the Cardinals are there in fourth. Do they trade back? Do they grab Marvin Harrison Jr.? That would be a game changer. What do you think about this rumor that may or may not involve Kyler Murray? If Kyler Murray was involved, do you see Desmond Ritter being the starter for the Arizona Cardinals? Interesting stuff. Telling you. Next, let's dive in to the last thing I wanted to talk about today. The Cardinals have announced they've put out a video, they've put out some press kits of a massive luxury upgrade to this stadium. It is really cool. I watched the video. I don't know if you've seen it. I find it to be pretty amazing. It includes two new field level clubs, private clubs. And some of the discussion on this has been that means they're going to get rid of the public brew house, which is really fun to go to, and replace it with this private field level club, or at least one of them. There are also 6 on-field seating experiences, all-inclusive food and beverage, and preferred parking. These are really pricey. That is something that's come up. Are they necessary? I don't know. Maybe this is part of the fundraising in order to build those new facilities, which seems to be the sticking point for most fans is we're spending money on this renovation and we still need a lot of renovations in our practice facilities. In the press release, it says that last year, the Cardinals had the least expensive game day experience in the NFL, according to the team's marketing reports. And that affordability will still remain in 2024, but there are fans who are seeking an upscale way to enjoy a Cardinals game at State Farm Stadium. So they have created an array of breathtaking new options starting this season. And I've already talked to you about some of them. So the thing here is the on-field portion. All of these are actually field level, from what I understand. It's really hard to see a game from field level, and a lot of these opportunities featured TVs to see the game. Essentially, the Jumbotron reflected on screens throughout this on-field seating. There are casitas, which I believe required a $10,000 down payment for the season. I mean, who are we bringing in? That's a lot. What if, you love entertaining? If you have the disposable income to do something like that, perhaps it's likely going to be a large company that purchases these casitas, but they sit just feet from the south end zone. The game is happening right there in front of you. There are space for 20 people. There are 2-level casitas, so you can get some elevation to still see the game. Um, there's like a yard patio type spot. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty crazy. It's almost like your home is in the end zone. There is also the Casita Garden Club, which is another piece of this. It's a 13,400 square foot club with the feel of an outdoor garden patio inside of the NFL stadium. It is also located at the south end of the field. It's directly behind the casitas. So I find that to be really interesting. So you're not in a casita, but you're behind the casitas, and you're definitely gonna probably need to watch the screens at that point. Are you there to watch the game? Are you just hanging out? It's vibe. You do see the players coming down the entrance, so that's kind of cool. It's just a different feel, I guess, for me. Then there are field boxes. These are on the east and west sidelines at the south end of the playing field. They are private 4- and 6-person field boxes. And it says guests will be among the first anywhere to enjoy a game from a Monaco Dream Seat, which is a large, comfortable leather seat that's being used for the first time in any stadium in the world. Fancy. Again, I just feel like it's hard to see the game and what's going on when you are so close right down field level. However, in the artist rendering, it does show some stadium seating, some elevation. So if I were going to spend the money on that, I think I would want to be in one of the higher rows at least. Um, there's 66 total seats available on each side of the field, and each box has the private TVs that allow you to see what's happening in the Jumbotron should you not be able to see clearly from your seat, and you get access to the Casita Garden. Okay. At the north end of State Farm Stadium, there's going to be something called the Morgan Athletic Club, which is borrowing from the franchise's original name when it was founded in 1898. Thank you for that factoid, Donnie. And here is where it looks like it's going to be a throwback to like a 1920s supper club, is how Donnie phrases it. It's lavishly furnished, there's low lighting, it has plenty of amenities, thoughtfully crafted menus, curated wines, cocktails, and beers. This is all inclusive, by the way. There will be live music before and after the game, so it really is a true club experience. There are access to private dining rooms, VIP parking, private entrances to the stadium. You're really living it up here. I mean, wow. And this is the part where they're saying it's gonna um, do away with the brew house, but I haven't gotten confirmation on that yet. Then there are field suites where 12 guests can sit, all inclusive food and beverages located near the 20-yard line. And it's got some stadium seating, but I just find it so difficult. If you've ever watched a game right from the sidelines, and maybe that's your jam, it's just not mine. I want to be able to see more, but they do have the luxurious Monaco Dream seats again for each set of 12. The sideline and end zone has field seats. You can get the perks of being able to go into the Morgan Athletic Club. It's just a short walk, close to the action. I mean, you could even have a player land in your lap, perhaps. Then there are tunnel suites, one of the newest and most exclusive suite offerings. Two uniquely spacious suites accommodating 12 guests, all inclusive food and beverage, located steps from the back of the end zone and the Morgan Athletic Club. I think it would be really fun to experience the all-inclusive aspect, maybe for one game. I just, I want to see the field. I want to be among the people. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think you would love that? Do you think you would want to be in one of these fancy little segregated kind of areas? Maybe I'm selling it short. I want to see it in action for sure. And to learn more, if you want, you can visit ArizonaCardinals.com, or you could read Donnie's article at si.com/NFL/Cardinals/news. And he's got an article entitled Cardinals Announce Massive Luxury Upgrades to Stadium. And you can see the video, you can see all the renderings. I'm not saying it's not amazing. It is. And for me, it seems like it's more of a corporate play. And I guess we'll see how that all pans out. But it is pretty cool, I will say, for the Cardinals to be the first, not only in the league, but in the world, to be introducing some of these amenities as far as seating, and to be offering an elevated experience to guests, maybe even visitors. We'll have to see. Anyway, I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope that you had fun. I try to keep it short. I try to keep it to the point. And I'll see you again later on this week with my new guest host, Charlotte Schaff. See you then. Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.